Today we're going to talk about the tools available in the timeline in Final Cut Pro. And no, the cursor is not always this huge. I purposely made it like that in System Preferences so you could see it easier. All right, the tools are right here where you see that little arrow. And we got a couple of them, so let's just go straight through them. First up, Select, or A. And that's the cursor, just like you have the cursor in any operating system, and that allows you to click on things, click out of things, the usual. Simple, click A. Next up, Trim. What does that do? Kind of a odd looking thing right here. So let's say we have, I'm going to go back to A for the cursor. Let's say we have this full clip right here, but we know for the project we only need and have to have 2 seconds of iPhone. So we grab and let's say right there. Now, let's say the beginning is not exactly where we want it. Instead of going out and repositioning the clip, just click T, and we get to move within the original clip. So you're still keeping this exact 2 seconds, but you get to change the start and end of the clip. Really, really handy, especially if you need to have, let's say, someone come in on the beat of the music. Next up, Position. P. Looks like a little bit of a cursor with a stem cut off, right? And a little bit smaller. So P is cool because think of it as the cursor, but allows you to select a clip and move it absolutely within the time frame of the timeline. So let's say it has to be this footage at 4,500 frames. That gives you exactly at that hit point, but then also fills in the gaps with a nice blank space instead of creating blank space and then moving it exactly to 4,500. So that's really cool. Go ahead and delete that. Next up is the range selection. I found this the most useful if you want to share a little clip of someone via email or iMessage because you want them to see it before you post it in the timeline. So let's say you like just this little bit right here. Instead of creating another timeline and just editing that one little clip, instead you can click the range with R and highlight just that area. Now when you go to export or share, click Command E, and you're just going to be exporting that little bit. Super efficient to share little tidbits or ideas with people. Blade, B. That is, as you'd imagine, you want to chop up a clip. Now that you have the little cute scissors, just click and they're all chopped up. Zoom, Z. As you'd imagine, you click in or drag and click and you get totally zoomed in, nice detailed image of your timeline. Now let's say, okay, you've gone ham and you could either hold down Option and keep clicking out or drag clicking out. Not very efficient. Instead, click Shift Z and that fits all of your clips to the width of your monitor. Super efficient. Lastly, the hand. This is right now doesn't make too much sense when you're zoomed out, but if you're zoomed in and you have a large timeline, you can stay zoomed in and just grab and slide between all these clips in your timeline. Really handy. And no matter where you are in Final Cut Pro, you can do the shortcuts and it'll go directly to them. Whoops, that was not what I meant. That was V. That disables a clip. Don't do that. But trim, select, hand, zoom, anywhere in Final Cut Pro. But it actually just affects the timeline. Let me be clear.